I've found it's a kind of like a smoking gun piece in all of this, is all the vases. So are you familiar with the incredible stone vases that they make in Egypt?
Please talk about them.
Yeah, so there is a collection of these things. They're made from igneous stone. And Jamie, I've got a few pictures of the vases in that vase directory, and they date back. It's what's interesting to me about these is that they're some of the earliest types of artifacts that we find. They stretch back far into what we'd call pre-dynastic time, basically Mesolithic times, right back to even 15,000 years ago. There was a site called Toshka that was dug up. It's underwater now, but and it was a primitive burial. There was a guy that was curled up in this burial site on the side.
Go back to that, Jamie, the thin card one.
Yeah,
what's going on there?
So this is an example, and these vases display just astonishing aspects of precision and engineering. So this is an example of just how thin this material is. So it's igneous stone. This might be porphyry or something like this. A very, very hard stone, very hard to work, but also brittle when it becomes thin. You can see the giant crystal occlusions, the white marks in it. This stuff becomes brittle, yet it's been worked down to this thinness because this one's been damaged, and you can see how thin that interior wall is. Flinders Petrie is the great Egyptologist, the first guy to really start applying engineering principles from the industrial age to this stuff. He found one, he talks about one in his work that was 1/40th of an inch thick. Wow. 1/40th of an inch thick. And the interesting thing about these vases, there's 50,000 plus of them were discovered beneath the step pyramid of Djoser. He collected them all up, and even in the museum there, they talk about, well, he didn't have them made. These were inherited objects from earlier times. Like they get the concept right. And so these things stretch back way back into time. There's pre-dynastic artifacts from pre-dynastic burials. But there's always these sort of arguments, well, can you do this by hand? Can you not? And so recently there's been some work done. I've been working with a couple of guys, the son of Christopher Dunn, who wrote some real seminal textbooks on ancient Egyptian technology, his son Alex, and Nick Sierra. They're qualified, professional metrologists. They work for Rolls-Royce in Indianapolis. They make aerospace parts, turbine blades, things like that. They've got their hands on a pre-dynastic Egyptian vase. And for the first time, they've actually been able to scan this thing using a structured light scanner and define the specific elements of precision on it. And it's just astounding. Like this puts the whole concept of can these even remotely been made by hand to bed. Like these things had to have been made on a machine and made with extreme precision, because this vase that is pre-dynastic, this is a picture of the vase here that they found in a private collection. Because I should say, generally archaeologists, Egyptologists, they're not engineers. They're not particularly interested in sort of how things were manufactured. So what they've done is they've taken this and put this in a machine, and it's a structured light scanner, so it creates like a point cloud of different lights, and then you match a geometric shape to it, be that like a flat plane, a cylinder, a sphere, a cone, and then you can perform sort of geometric calculations on it and define things like precision. So if you go back to that, the surface A, the vase lip, right? So this is, you can see down on the bottom, they've created a point cloud of the top of this lip, so the flatness, and they've called this surface A. It's comprised of 3,813 points, and it's within 3,000ths of an inch of being basically perfectly flat.
Wow.
But that's
3,000ths of an inch.
3,000ths of an inch.
And this is over who knows how many thousands of years of erosion and sand and dust and wind.
Exactly. It's at least 5,000 years old. I suspect this could be far older than that.